So in terms of learning how to fly or becoming a pilot, the initial step is what we call the private pilot's license, or PPL. It is typically a course of about 50 hours flying, but it is very much dependent on one's own aptitude and ability in this field. Learning to fly is by no means something that everybody can do. You have to have a passion for it in the beginning. The common saying is, if you don't have a passion, there's no plan to learn to fly. So the passion is what will drive most of our students to getting licensed, and as I said, it's typically a 50 to 60 hour training period with all of their exams that need to be completed. There are 8 subjects for a private pilot license that we teach at the school and that the students need to pass their exams in. Once you have a private pilot's license, you are basically a learner pilot, and the only thing you're entitled to do with that license is to fly your family, your friends, whoever you may want to, in fact, but without receiving any form of payment. So in other words, you cannot fly for hire and reward. You are not employable as a pilot with that license. What you need to do to become employable is you need a commercial pilot's license. And to get a commercial pilot's license, you need a minimum of 200 hours of flying, and you need to have completed the ground school and the relevant exams for the commercial license. So the problem we find, one of the biggest problems, is a lot of students will get a private pilot license, which is 50 to 60 hours, and then they cannot bridge the gap from there to the 200-hour requirement for a commercial license. Many years back, when we did have a thriving aviation industry here, what often would happen is private pilots got their licenses, and there were a lot of private operators in and around the country that had their own aircraft, and they always needed private pilots to fly them around, which was perfectly legal because there was no payment for the private pilot services. So that was the most common way of private pilots building hours to get up to the commercial license level. One of the problems with that system is that there are no guarantees as to how long it may take you to get 200 hours, because it depends on being in the right place at the right time. So it took us a lot longer to get up to the 200-hour mark than, say, someone who had the funds to just pay for those hours. So that is one of the big problems now. We do not have the industry and we do not have enough private owners and private operators that are looking for private pilots to carry them around in their own aircraft. So basically right now, for any student pilot who's got a private license, to get to a commercial license, they actually need to just pay for all of their hours, which again becomes very, very cost prohibitive and more often than not impossible.